Hello and welcome to the Touchline Podcast. And as we start off the new year, the top four race has a lot of teams involved. And one of the teams involved was Tottenham, who had a game against Watford today. And Noah, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, it was it's a pretty dead game, to be honest with you. We had a lot of possession, but we kept giving the ball away. I don't know if you watched it, but some of our crossing was so
Yeah,
poor. We need like Emerson, who I liked when he joined. He's just, I don't know what's happened, but he couldn't get a single cross right.
I mean,
but it looks like your priority in January. Conte's made it clear that he's had a conversation with the board. Apparently, you're looking for a midfielder, and midfielders maybe later, but you're looking for a wing back because
Yeah,
so maybe you'll get rid of Doherty or something and then get a wing back in because
we can get a wing back like Reece James or Alexander Arnold, who can put in a cross, who's dangerous, who can actually get assists. Then I think that'll just take us to the next level because in Conte's system, the wing backs are quite important, and we don't have a quality right wing back.
there's not really in the market. It's not really a wing back of that build.
It's difficult to find, but
We can talk about Hessian go.
one thing I will say is that under Nuno, like Spurs, they didn't have a system. You could tell they had some good players, but
yeah, they really they filtered through a couple systems. Yeah, Conte, they've got that 5-2-3.
Yeah,
5-3-2.
Harry Kane looks rejuvenated as well. Son Heung-min in good form as well.
I don't think Son fits.
No,
I don't think Son, his position in the he's suited to where he's playing. Where he was when you played Southampton, you played that 3-5-2 and it was Kane and Son on top. I think it was way better in that. But when he's kind of deployed as a winger, he's a bit. I don't think he really suits it. I think he's
Son, as of late, he's got quite a few goals and assists, but his performances have been a little hit and miss at times. I feel like his first touch has not quite been there. His pass.
He's still contributing to the game. So
yeah, he's contributing. That's obviously we've got the assist today, but
yeah.
He actually sounded probably thrive more on the Nuno system.
But
whatever the system was.
Yeah, but
you're like 2 points off Arsenal with 2 games in hand. So
yeah,
I do reckon
we're not far off Chelsea.
I think Tottenham.
Yeah, if you win all your games in hand, you go behind us.
Yeah,
I do reckon you're going to
pretty soon as well. But if you win those games, you're definitely one of the favorites.
Yeah, we play you 3 times in January because we've got the Carabao Cup legs as well.
That's bad.
I don't think
we've got we've got Liverpool, City, and then Tottenham. So it'll be crunch time for us.
Yeah.
Just have to wait and see.
I don't think Arsenal will get top 4 this season. I mean, Spurs is obviously heating up. I reckon
they played very well against Manchester City today, and despite the decisions, we could talk about whether Arsenal.
But there are better teams in front of Arsenal. If you
I don't think Arsenal get. I think Tottenham. I think mainly for me, mainly it's the manager, like Conte.
United are not going to get top 4. Put my money on it right now. I'll make a statement. I'll say United won't make top 4.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
They have the best players, but I think Tottenham, what they have is the manager.
That's the thing, though. Yeah, you have
the
best players
and
then you.
So you're saying the best players win trophies? We won 2 European trophies. We are the best team in the world.
We've got the best individual players like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, and they don't work together.
Yeah,
Cristiano Ronaldo is so washed, man.
There isn't much team even.
Yeah.
We haven't really spoken about Rangnick on this podcast. Like Hessian, what do you think about him? Really, do you think he's good?
It's a bit early to say, but I've seen some of them like against Newcastle. It felt like nothing's changed since Solskjaer. The Burnley game has filled me with a bit of confidence, though. But then again, Burnley haven't played.
Burnley was so passive, though. So
yeah,
I don't really. We're obviously gonna win.
They haven't played for like 3 weeks as well, so they're not gonna have the match shot.
Don't use that excuse. Like we when we played against Liverpool, it was the first time in a couple of weeks, and we played with the high intensity. It's for me when Rangnick came into the league, people talking about likes of Klopp and Guardiola with his pressing and his style of football, and it's been the opposite really.
He taught Tuchel and Klopp everything they know, and he's been but like he's not like he hasn't had many training sessions, but just like the football that you're playing is not like he's got the new system like getting on press and all that, but it's not really different. So it doesn't seem like players are responding. I also saw something about the players complaining that they're doing training at 5 p.m. Now it's dark when they leave. What kind of mentality is?
Do you know what? Yeah, the players are a joke at Manchester. They are a joke.
Like Gary Neville said that the players are whinge bags and that they're always like on the pitch, like sometimes like instead of focusing on defending, he's always appealing to the referee that
they let their heads drop to like when like Bruno say something goes against Bruno, like maybe he's fouled or something. He just keep complaining and his head will drop and he just won't. Like he just keeps complaining. It's like that Newcastle game. Ronaldo, Bruno, they're all just complaining the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, just get your head down and just show that you're good players.
Even when Arsenal as well, because that goal that Smith Rowe scored, all the players were complaining that De Gea's down, and
they all just shouting at the referee, and meanwhile Smith Rowe was. Yes.
I think it brings the whole team down as well. Like this negative attitude of just complaining. Just get on with the game, just do what you're meant to do. Yeah, I think you can blame the managers all you want, but I do see some of the players have to take responsibility
100%.
because they are at times like Rashford this season. I think hasn't been that good. Sancho, £75 million signing, hasn't done anything. All of these players, Maguire,
big names, just not living up to expectations, and it's quite poor. The United team spent buying Ronaldo, Varane to be in this position, like struggling to manage to get top four. Like you can blame all the managers you want, but it's also down to the players as well. As a unit, I don't think they're a good team together.
There's no team chemistry between our players. Like they're always focusing on wanting to be the best themselves. They don't focus on the team, like what's best for the team. Like you see players like Anthony Martial. Like I know he's rarely played, but like the way he wants to go to Sevilla and like Paul Pogba as well. The fact that he's got like half a year left on his contract and he still hasn't signed it shows.
I think Martial's
no,
because
he's
been frozen out. Like it's not his fault. Like
you can't blame him for wanting to leave. He doesn't play.
In the stage in his career, he's regular game time. Like he was in that 1920 season, he was really good. So now he's suddenly been frozen out. Like he has a right to want regular game time. He's not getting that United. Yeah, he can leave. Like it's not. Wouldn't blame that on him.
I mean, maybe what will happen with Martial is what happened with Lingard last season. Frozen out the team and then
maybe go on loan. Yeah,
and comes back.
We can talk about Arsenal here as well. I mean, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but when Aubameyang was stripped off, I think after he got stripped off his captaincy, he was like, Arsenal was scoring like 18 goals in like 5 matches or something mad like that. I mean,
with Arsenal, this isn't the first time this has happened. Like they did this to Mesut Ozil as well, and people say it's for like political reasons, but they've done the same with Ozil. They're doing it to Aubameyang. I mean,
but this has worked positively for Arsenal, I think. Instead of Aubameyang, an aging player who doesn't really want to be there, who doesn't really care.
I don't think he really brings much to the dressing room.
Yeah, you got young, fresh, hungry players, and it's working for Arsenal. So I think it's worked in that case already. I think that's a problem.
I mean, it depends on who the captain is. Like, if they have a big influence in the dressing room, then taking it off, it's going to negatively influence them. But with Aubameyang, like, it seems that he wasn't the most popular figure in Arsenal. So, like,
well, you don't really know that, do you? You can't really say he wasn't the most. I mean, are you at the Arsenal training ground every day?
No, but I also don't think I think he was setting a good example for the young players. I think that's really why he was stripped off. He had like quite a few like lates and stuff. So maybe as a captain, like he's an experienced player. He played in Europe and stuff, and he's not really setting a good example. So maybe that's probably one of the reasons that he's stripped. I think this leads quite nicely into as well, this negative into Lukaku's recent interview.
Oh yeah.
unprofessional.
I was so confused why he would do this. Like,
Very
I think he
unprofessional.
did record it when he was injured and stuff, but like just a couple of the stuff that he said, like I don't understand. Like he was one of the things that actually really annoyed me. He was talking about game time, and I think that's completely unfair. When he's had an opportunity, when he's been fully fit, like this interview was just like literally just after he got COVID and he was complaining about game time. He can't play when he has COVID and he just came back from an injury. He has to build up fitness. He can't just be thrown straight into the team. And also how he's talking about Inter as well. He was like, he said something about Martinez where he was like, "Oh, Martinez to Chelsea, nah, let him stay there. I'm gonna be there soon." Like
Yeah.
when he joined, he said in one of the interviews, he said, "I'm staying here for life." You're like 29. Why are you talking about going back to Inter?
Yeah. No, I think he wanted to get his message across, but he could have said it a bit like,
Because the way he left Inter was quite negative. Like their
yeah,
fans didn't
exactly.
like him, obviously. So maybe he's trying to patch. But the way he's done this is just completely.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know
patched
if it's
into
that.
them.
No, because the thing is with Inter, he says he's going to sign a contract. He loves the club. He leaves. Chelsea's his boyhood club. He wants to be there. And then he says, "No, I actually really like Inter." Clearly, he doesn't like Inter. He doesn't care about Chelsea. He just cares about himself, his
Yeah,
money,
I don't understand.
whatever. I don't like.
When he
When
It's just
said
everything
like,
fall apart, like at United, he was found leaking stuff when everything fell apart. It's just when everything doesn't go right for him. It just
hmm,
seems like he has a complex where he just like blames everyone else. It's a
Yeah,
bad mentality to have. Yeah.
apparently he leaked some like the slowest player in Manchester United or something. I saw that
Yeah,
interview.
he started like leaking like fitness stuff when it went all wrong at United, and
Yeah,
I'm just like, just get your head down, man. And like now he's like, especially such a pivotal point in the season. Imagine the mentality in the dressing room after all those quotes have come out. Like Tuchel's come out and said it's a lot of unnecessary noise that we don't need in the dressing room. It's completely right. Like it's so unnecessary and just unprofessional from a player. Like these are record signing, and he's out there talking about wanting to go back into, and it's not even been a season since he's been here. So I don't understand it.
also another thing that doesn't make sense. He was talking about Tuchel's tactics. He doesn't like the tactics. It's the same tactic that's won the Champions League. I don't understand
yeah.
how he wants to come in, change the tactic just around him when he seems disinterested. It doesn't make any
It's
sense.
not like a mid-table club where we've bought him to
Yeah.
build a system around him. We bought him because he's a versatile player, can fit into a lot of systems. So
We
he should fit. He can fit into the system. So why is he complaining?
all Lukaku was a panic buy, and just like Kepa was a
Yeah,
No,
panic buy.
no,
He's just a
it's not
panic.
really. It's
Lukaku
not.
wasn't a panic buy.
Lukaku is your first choice, the only other
No,
striker you want.
Haaland was our first choice donor. Why did Lukaku was never our first choice.
Yeah,
We always wanted Haaland.
you have to
Like
get your.
even before the window, we were set on Haaland. But then Near has like
Yeah,
Dortmund are really tough negotiators, and we saw it. So it started slipping away, and that's when we went for Inter. And the like, I, it seems now that the only reason he left is because they didn't have the financial means to offer him a new contract, which is why he left. But then when he joined, he said, "When Chelsea come calling, you can't say no." So he keeps twisting the story different. I don't even know
Yeah.
we don't know what actually happened because he's saying different stuff in different interviews.
no, I heard I don't know, the board is against Tuchel. I mean, there are probably rumours, but I just want to say, hopefully the board stick with Tuchel in this. Uh, he's one of the best managers in the world. I agree, but I saw another interview as well. Apparently, he's questioned, and then Tuchel took it professionally and said, I don't remember what he said, but he took it professionally. I just wanted to condemn him on that.
Personally, I think he was just
And yeah,
frustrated with
yeah,
Chelsea, so he just lashed out, and I don't. He
yeah.
didn't need to. He just didn't need to, man. Especially in this scenario, like. And we've got a big set of games coming up, and he's just gone and done that. Like, is it necessary? Don't understand.
Do you think this will affect him playing for Liverpool?
I still,
Or
like, it. Yeah, he said all that, but it's a big game. He's our best striker at the club. He said he
If
did say in the interview that he said he'll keep going. He said he'll continue. He said he'll keep grinding. But he also like said stuff like because I remember one of the quotes was like he one of the games he thought he could play the full 90, but the physios said that he could only play 45, so he only played 45, and then he got COVID, so he was obviously frustrated. but he thinks he could have played 90. So he said, at Inter, I was, the physios, and he just kept talking. Like he said, he just kept comparing it to Inter, and it's just like,
Mm.
I don't understand, man.
Well, because at Inter, he was the main man. At Chelsea, it's built on a team. It's not a group of individuals, which
It's
is
not. We don't
why they
rely
were
on
successful.
Yeah.
So it's a change for him. He's just got to let his ego go a little bit because he's not the best striker in the world.
I mean,
Lukaku, he's not.
Like at United as well, he wasn't the first choice. And clearly saw how he was at United, but at Inter Milan, when he was like the main player, he excelled.
And like like I said before, he just said like loads of contradicting stuff. Like he said he would have stayed if he contract, and it's just like, just say you're still like, just stay away from that stuff and just focus on getting back to fitness and playing again for Chelsea. Like recently, he's got 2 goals and 2 starts, and this has come out. I don't know if you're negatively affected or anything. We just have to see.
Lukaku did also say that he wanted to play for Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Bayern
Yeah.
Munich.
What did you say? Was that
Okay,
interview
no.
as well?
In the interview, he said something like, so when he joined, he said, the only other club I would have played for at that moment in time instead of Inter. But then when he said this interview, he was like, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, or Real Madrid were the only other I would have left, but none of them offered me anything. That's the reason I joined Chelsea. So again, it's just him swapping stories. Like he said, and it's also kind of like downplaying Chelsea. Like
He was. Yeah.
He was like a last option for him. Like he didn't really want to do it. It's just, I think he's just ruined it. And then like Inter fans still don't seem to have like, he kind of does to like get forgiven. Still don't. So I don't understand.
They put some banner up outside the stadium, I think, saying we don't want you back.
Yeah.
So this little thing hasn't worked. Bit of a waste of time, and it's just going to negatively affect him.
Yeah. He said he wants to go back to Inter at the top of his game, not near the end of the career. He's 29, 30 now. What does he want to leave like right now? Like, I understand what he's talking about.
Yeah, he can leave. If he wants to leave, he can leave.
I mean, this is obviously like, they have three key players like out of their contracts. They got Rudiger, Christensen, Aspilicueta.
Yeah, we're not in a good position right now. We're not in a good position.
The main priority is that.
I mean, we're shambolic at the back as well right now, and we're dropping points consistently against in our home ground. In our home ground, we're getting battered and we're getting draws in our home ground.
The defense is not been as good as it was in the start of the season, and then one of our best defenders is like pretty much set to leave. Christensen's on a 50-50. Aspie's probably going to leave, but he's not a big loss. We look like we're getting Koundé in, but if we're letting Rudiger and Christensen go, we need to get another centre in as well.
Yeah, I mean, being second in the league,
and that's to maintain where we are right now. That's not to improve. I'd say Koundé's not won't be as good as Rudiger in that position. He might take some time to warm into that, and then someone to replace Christensen. We're not going to be better than we were before. We're probably going to be in the same position. So, and we want to be challenging for the title, which we're not. We're not on the level of City and Liverpool. So it's not a really good position. I think we shouldn't have left this last minute. I think Thiago Silva, but Christensen and Rudiger, I think we should have sorted down ages ago. Especially Christensen as an academy graduate, we should have sorted this out ages ago, and now we're here.
Well, if I was Rudiger or Christensen, surely like want to stay at Chelsea. European champions, good team.
With Rudiger, I was thinking that he would have gone back to his home country because I saw Bayern Munich links, but now it's mainly Real Madrid who are linked with him. So maybe
I think it's just like the name of Real Madrid. He probably just
but I think Chelsea's a better team than Real Madrid.
Yeah, but like, Chelsea doesn't have a better name than
I
Real Madrid.
also think he's doing that. What's it called? It seems like he wants a new challenge. He's been here for a while. He joined in like 2017. So I just think it's just a case of him wanting to move on. But Christensen, I'm confused about because he's been in the academy for many years, and so we agreed terms with him. Then he saw what Rudiger was asking, so then he asked for higher pay, and now we don't want to pay that. So it's just a mess. I reckon we'll cave in near the end. I reckon we'll just cave in. I think with Rudiger's gone, I think Christensen might It's just like it's not even that. It's just leaving it to the last minute. I don't know why we've done that. Why do we have to wait till the last year of that contract? I think that's poor management from us. We should have got that done ages ago.
Also with Christensen as well, because the only major team who he's linked with is Barcelona, and he wants to get
Yeah,
an
that is confusing. Barcelona, they look like they look set for the Europa League. I don't even, they're in such a mess right now. Also, where are they getting this money from? They just signed Ferran Torres, and they're trying to buy Christensen, and they look like a billion.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Where are they getting this money from? I think this is one of those things. You know, when like a player's signing a new contract, so the agent drums up interest in different clubs to try and raise some pile of play. I think this is what it is. I think he was signed, but he really looks set to be gone. So it's not a good situation, but hopefully we managed to get Kunde over the line.
Yeah.
On the topic of transfers, one of the transfers which has been on the Rafinha buying the £50 million. I think he provides good competition with like Leroy Sané and Serge Gnabry, and I think a player like Rafinha will be a big loss for Leeds because he is one of their star players.
And with Rafinha going as well, I don't see Leeds I think they're done for.
Yeah, they got some injury problems. He's carrying them to 16th, which for them right now is quite impressive. So no, I think it'll be a big loss, but they could reinvest 50 million. But the way they've spent money before with the likes of Rodrigo, if I was Leeds, I wouldn't be too confident. So
yeah, they sound like Rodrigo for 30 mil, and he's scored like 4 goals in his last 3 seasons. So it's just
like Dan James, another weird one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with Rafinha, they're done for, man. I don't see them getting anyone of Rafinha's caliber who wants to join Leeds for 50 million. I think it's just a situation I think they're in a really bad scenario. And it's just from the start they've just been so overhyped and just overrated.
I want to talk a little bit about that because I remember it started last year. I remember like when Leeds came off, they talked about Marcelo Bielsa.
Yeah.
And how he's just great, he's the Messiah, this amazing manager. And I remember they got Pochettino once on Monday Night Football. I was looking forward to that, and the whole time it's talked about Bielsa, he's this great manager. The likes of Guardiola, Klopp have almost been raised by him.
I think in Argentina, he was quite a good manager there. So these like Pochettino and like all those, or like Pep Spanish as well. So I think they may have taken like, I think it's like Tuchel and Klopp with Rangnick. You know, they've taken inspiration, but he's not. As a manager, he's not amazing.
But Bielsa, what's Bielsa actually won at the top level?
No, he's not that much.
He's not a good manager. I look at the way he manages Leeds. I remember, like again, they lost 7-0 to Man City. They lost by a lot last season to Manchester United, and they keep talking about, oh, he's a great manager. He's not going to change his system. That's a sign of a bad manager. He's not going to adapt. I don't understand this hype that Bielsa's getting. The cracks are showing.
That Arsenal game, and they had like their whole back line out. They had like teenagers, and they were still running around this. This chicken. They don't have like a structure. It's just players running around.
Yeah, it doesn't make. For me, maybe he plays decent football. I don't really know, but finishing 9th last season, it was alright. It was a decent finish, but Sheffield United did it the year before. Wolves have done it. All right. It's like, teams are going to get that little bounce. I don't think Bielsa did a particularly amazing job in the Championship. He bottled the playoff against Derby that time. He's come up, and now they got some injuries, but that's probably Bielsa's fault. That the system they're playing, running players ragged every single game, getting they run around a lot, chasing players around, doing their sort of man-to-man marking thing. So obviously they're going to get injuries playing the high-intensity system they do.
I read it up on their the way they train as well. They do this thing called murder ball, where it's basically just running around for 10 minutes, and that's what they take into the actual. So and they don't have amazing depth either. So when players get injured, like fitness levels, they just don't know. Like they just struggle so hard with like injuries and stuff. Like everyone acted like Bielsa was this massive, like one of the best managers. He didn't really do anything. Like he had a group of talented players, which I think they should have been to the Prem the season before, like that derby season.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they should. They literally they were in the top two automatic places and they slipped down to playoffs. So
And then they spent a load of money buying Rafinha, Rodrigo,
yeah.
and one or two others.
I think Rafinha was a good buy, but that's it
Yeah.
really.
So I just, for me, it's confusing. I think, and then just the way he was gassed up, I don't understand. You're watching Sky Sports and you're
Yeah.
watching a random game. Let's say Norwich versus Man City, or not Norwich, say Aston Villa versus Man City, and just start talking about Bielsa, Martin Tyler. Like, I don't get it. And so yeah, I think Leeds are going to go down with these injuries. I think they're nailed on to get relegated, honestly.
I think one of the only reasons they hype up Bielsa is probably for the similar reason they hype up Ralph Rangnick, and that current more better managers have looked up to Bielsa. Maybe in the past he was a good manager, but right now his tactics probably aren't suited for the Premier League.
They're 16th.
Yeah.
Mad. Yeah, I hope we see them getting out of this. And Burnley have 2 games in hand, so if they win that, they go on top of that.
Watford.
Watford. I think Watford. I think Leeds are going to get relegated, man. Looking at it now. Yeah.
Let me just paint a little picture. Let's just imagine you've got this guy called Brian Smith, right, from Swindon, who crouches down on some little stool on the touchline and has these wonderful tactics which gets him 16th place. Do you think he'd be getting gassed up this much by the
media? Laughed off the pitch.
Yeah, no, he'd get laughed off. He'd been sacked by now. He'd get laughed. He'd be a joke. He'd be like Neil Warnock. People laughing at him.
It's just because he's got a foreign name and he sits on a bus.
Exactly.
Revolutionary. That's why.
He's got these
right.
tactics in Argentina.
Yeah.
Just because he managed the Argentinian team in the past as well.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't think it's the hype did like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next episode.